Hello and welcome to the Free to Be Show. I'm so excited to be here today with Ipek Williamson. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Cordelia. It's always a pleasure spending
Oh,
time with you.
yeah, we were together yesterday, right? We should make this a daily thing.
Yes, and we will be together tomorrow, I think.
Yes, we will. Well, you know what? I really love to start my show by playing the introduction because it has the agreements that I want my listeners and viewers to agree to. So we'll be right back in a moment, okay? Let's normalize that smiling is being present with your soul and accept that you have the power to replenish from within. Let's agree that you are the creator of your world. Own the energy of your words. Most importantly, replenish with your own smile. Welcome to the Free to Be Show. I'm your host, Cordelia Gafal, the ultimate joymonger. My name literally means the heart of the ocean of forgiveness. Listen to this show as if you are excavating your life for places where you limit your own freedom. Are you free? Let's see. You know what? I have an update. So my moniker is the ultimate joy monger. Do you know why that is?
No. Tell me.
So the ultimate joy with the hyphens is now one word, right?
Mm-hmm.
So which gives it a different meaning as opposed to the ultimate joy monger, right? It's the ultimate joy monger.
Okay.
Yeah, you get it?
I do. I like it.
So whatever the ultimate joy is for you, right? Personally, people listening and viewing, that's what I'm mongering. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. And joy is my North Star too. Like when I really literally changed my life and changed my career and everything. On my birthday, actually, you might remember from my speech at Worthy Rally in Houston. I decided on my birthday, 50th birthday, that joy will be my North Star, and anything that doesn't give me joy is not going to have place in my life. So joy is important.
It is. And, sadly, I've noticed that people think that it's unattainable. And that's really why I have the Free to Be show, because, and this month I've decided, let's do an inner inquiry. Are you truly free? Are you allowing yourself to access things that you thought were out of reach, And so we're going to talk about that today.
Yeah.
So when you chose joy as your North Star on your 50th birthday, did you perceive it as something that was previously out of reach for you?
Yes. The short answer is yes.
Okay.
I had joy in my life, but it was a part of my life. It didn't have the most important space in my life. I knew that I didn't have enough of that joy. And the reason was I was doing or being the person that I thought was the right person, right being to be.
You were doing what was accepted and expected.
Exactly. Yesterday you were mentioning that, right?
Yes. Yes.
Expected and accepted. I was being that person. And then I realized that when I do that, I live for other people, not for myself.
Yeah.
So then I realized that I need to make joy my North Star so that I commit to have that in for me, with me at all times. And that only can happen if I can be authentically who I am and do what gives me joy. See? So then I said, I'm quitting everything that I'm doing because I feel like I have to do.
Yeah.
And from this point on, I will do things that because I want to, because it pulls me, because it gives me joy, because it excites me.
Yeah. So you chose to be free to be. Yeah. And so how's that going?
Well, they say living the dream. I am living the dream. Like I have never been this happy in my life, Cordelia. Like and I know, like sometimes it feels, I feel guilty sometimes for feeling that good while all the bad things are happening in the world. But then I stop myself. Hello, this is your job to be happy. Because when I raise my vibrations, my energy, I'm helping the collective.
Yeah.
So I'm doing my part as a human being in creating happiness, joy, and peace in the world. So sometimes people don't understand, how can you be that happy when this and that happening all around the world? But that's it. That's why I'm trying to be happy, and I'm trying to have a higher vibration and energy so that I can counter that bad stuff happening outside.
Yeah, you're about raising the collective consciousness with your vibration. And one way to do that is in those conversations, acknowledge people for their state of being, right? They choose to judge things as good or bad, and they receive the world in that way, right? And you choose to observe, and because of what you observe, you don't label it.
Yeah.
You just be you, right? And kind of like you see the I guess everything that I use, right? The sun rays and all that. It's the part that you're doing is you're being the sun, right? You're being the light and radiating that out. You're not expecting the light to radiate in. And this is the way many people live their life. They're walking around, right? Even we can take you like 3-4 years ago. You were walking around waiting for the light to hit you, hoping that you were in the right space so it could come at you, right?
Absolutely.
And now it's the other way around. And here's the great part. You discovered that it's only always supposed to be the other way around.
Absolutely. And that's it. Like that's exactly what I do as a coach and meditation teacher too. I want as many people as possible to understand this, that happiness is not out there. The light is not out there.
Yeah.
It's all in us. And no matter what, we are putting
Emanating.
out,
Yeah.
yes, putting out energy.
Mm.
No matter what, no matter what, we are magnets. No matter what, we are emanating energy out. So when we choose that energy, we give out to be a positive one, a nurturing, a joyful one, that's contagious. That creates more of that, because we whatever we give out multiplies out there.
Yeah.
And when it's negative, it multiplies negative. So it's all here, it's all in us. When we realize that, the whole perspective about life, happiness, joy, everything changes.
Yeah. Yeah. We were together yesterday, for my virtual 12 days of replenishment. I guess that was just day one,
Mm-hmm.
and this is an opportunity for people to discover, it's like, just like you were saying, like, this is what you do as a coach to encourage people to build from within. I'm just encouraging people to create and be aware of what it is that replenishes them,
Mm-hmm.
what pours into you, what gives you more light to
Yes.
add to the light within,
Yeah.
and I can't give it to you, but I can help you find it,
Mm-hmm.
and discover it.
Yeah.
So that's what I hear you saying.
Mm-hmm.
And, before we went live, I was telling you, everyone doesn't know this, but I thought it was kind of cool to share that this season was created because I bought these oracle cards, these African goddess cards. And I'm wearing one of the African goddesses. This is,
Ooh, I love that.
yeah, this
Oh.
is the goddess of giving and receiving. Hmm.
I know your jewelry is always intentional,
Yeah.
always. Yeah, it has a meaning and a purpose. I love that about you.
Yeah. And I'm wearing red jasper because that's very nurturing and grounding.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm gonna before I pull a card for you,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna read the one that came up for me. So there's something called an ashe card.
Mm-hmm.
And ashe just means like so it is, right? In Yoruba. And so this is the goddess Gangang Sara,
Mm-hmm.
and it says resistance there. So shadow of resistance. She's from Tobago. That's the island off the coast of
Yeah.
Trinidad. And so in the temple of shadows in the element bush, which is the same as earth.
Mm-hmm.
So this is very revealing. Like when you hear this, you're scared that you're going to mess it all up.
Mm.
You may have stumbled, but this is a new day. Learn to show up for yourself. You ghost your own dreams and resist your own magic. Stop holding back, worrying, and pretending to seek perfection that will never come. When it comes to stepping into your greatness, resistance keeps you stuck. Resistance blocks growth, creativity, and evolution. Resistance may look like procrastination,
Mm.
laziness, disorganization, excuses, or lack of motivation, but there are deeper forces at play. You're resisting the force you really are. And so the declaration at the bottom is, "This is me, I show up."
Mm. I love that. Oh.
And I was like, okay, yep, I recognize that I do resist my own greatness. That
Mm.
happens.
And you're not the only one. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so it it's everybody. It's everybody. We resist to our greatness, to shine our light, to
Yeah.
to take over or put on our power to create,
Yeah.
knowingly, sometimes unknowingly, but we do. So I love it. It's
Yeah.
so motivating.
It is, right? Because then it's like, oh, I see myself. So when I'm feeling like I'm being lazy or I just don't feel like to do something, the truth is,
Yeah.
you know, I'm just not allowing myself to be great,
Mhm.
and nothing stops you but you. So, do you
Yes.
want me to pull one for you?
Yes, please.
Okay. Ashe. So we have, ooh, I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm going to say Sukuyant, and it's scarcity.
Sukuyant. Scarcity. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Oh, let's see. What do we have here? So again, Temple of Shadows, but element air.
Mhm.
Trinidad also.
Mm.
Yeah. You have so much more than you realize. You have access to unlimited joy, love, good times, pleasures, and prosperity. Be grateful for your riches. Embodiment. Stop going to the ocean and asking for a thimble full of water. It doesn't feel like it when you're desperate, but scarcity and lack are an illusion. Prosperity is believing that there is an overflow, more than enough love, happiness, well being, and money to go around. Vampires take from others because they don't have enough life force for themselves. That is scarcity consciousness. When you embody lack, you are always hungry, tired, and jealous. Make a gratitude list. What are you grateful for right now? And the declaration is, my blessings always overflow.
Oh, that's beautiful. My blessings are always overflow.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah, good. I mean, yeah, there's some truth in that for sure. I am very grateful for so many things, and I feel gratitude for everything, anything and everything around me. But sometimes, yeah, you find yourself in a scarcity mindset, especially when it comes to work related
Hmm.
stuff. But that's not true. That's a lie.
Yeah. And these are things to think about, that's why I was like, what if I just dedicated conversations to that inner inquiry? What does it look like? What are the things that come up,
Mhm.
for us, for people in general, that stops us from being free, what interrupts that heart
Mhm.
and mind alignment, so, if I'm honest, yeah, sometimes it is resistance and sometimes it is scarcity, it's various things at different times. How do
Absolutely.
you experience that with yourself or with clients?
Well, scarcity is a resistance. Let me start with resistance. Um, Resistance is sometimes resisting to see that there is another way,
Mm,
because sometimes I see people, and I was one of them. I had over 20 years of career as an executive assistant before. When you are too deep into something, even if you see that it's not the right thing for you, it's so hard to pull yourself out of that,
yeah.
because you invested so much time, you invested your dreams, you invested your everything actually.
Yeah.
And accepting that was not the right thing for you is so hard. And it creates disappointment in yourself. So you resist to feel that way about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a really strong thing to stop you from making the change that you believe will make you happier,
Yeah.
will bring you joy, because it's scary, because it's disappointing. And that's the resistance part. And I can understand that, because that's safe. Even if it's not happy, even if it's not joyful, it's safer.
Yeah.
And taking a step outside of that status quo and creating something totally different, also very scary,
Yeah.
because it's an unknown. Like, you don't know how it's going to go, because we are mainly live in a scarce life.
Yeah.
Scarcity is the main thing, not the abundance. So we feel like, if I live this life and if I create what I want, how am I going to be able to create the same status of life, or
Mm-hmm.
same standard of life? And that question is right there is a lie, because we are the creators.
Mm.
We create. It's just energy. It's about energy. Energy creates everything. So when you ask that question, how am I be able to get to a level where I was, is right there a negative energy creating thought.
Hmm.
So to me, the resistance and scarcity are so correlated, like related
Yeah.
to each other, because you are resisting because you are in the scarcity mode.
Right. Yeah. That's true. And, as I'm listening to you, there's a word that I created, I want to say about a year or two ago, because you're right. Right now, the world, like, if you listen to the news, or even if you don't listen to the news, if you watch social media, right, there's like a lot of scarcity mindset out there.
Mhm.
And the truth is, if we just chose within ourselves first to believe and know, actually, that the economy is an abundance economy,
Yes.
and there's no such thing as anything else. It's like, um and you know what I believe? I believe that the biggest evidence for the abundance economy is true femininity.
Mm.
Because when you're able to um, receive, you can't help but give from a place of overflow, right? And the resistance begins with not allowing yourself to receive, which
Mhm.
is the most uh, human thing to do, right?
Yes.
And if we lean into that side of us, right, that softer side of us, then we wouldn't have any scarcity.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
It does, of course. It does. And in you mentioned economy. in every downturn, there are people who who make so much money. Maybe they are in a minority, but they do. So what is different for those people who does not get affected by the downturns? It is because, let me tell you like this. When I found what gives me joy the most, the work became joy for me. Working is joy. So, like, they say, do you have a hobby? They ask, do you have a hobby? Hobby. That the other day I was watching something. I think someone was asking, what are your hobbies? And I thought, well, hobbies are the things that bring you joy. So society tells us you will have a life that you go to work, you do this and that and that and that, and then you come home in your spare time, you will do something that gives you joy and happiness.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
I refuse that. Replace your hobby with your work,
Right.
and make your hobby your work. And the unpleasant things that you need to do as a side thing to deal
Yes.
with.
Exactly.
And when you do that, I know maybe there's a worry that, how am I going to make a living? Like, I like to carve um, stuff from rocks or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's my hobby. How am I going to make a living from it? Well, when you spend your time on the things that they give you light, you start to shine that light out. And money comes automatically as a side effect of it.
Right.
So you don't do the thing that gives you joy because that will bring you money.
Right.
You do it because that will bring you light and joy and happiness and energy. And money is not the outcome, it's the side effect.
Yeah.
So when you realize that, you become the light, and people will get attracted to you. Abundance will come, will happen.
Yeah. That's so good. Yeah, I love that. It's funny, like as I'm listening to you, it's what is it? I guess the third quarter of the year, I usually like reassess what is it that I'm doing, how is my business going, and
Mhm.
what brings me joy. What
Mhm.
do I love about what I do? And it just dropped in. I'm like, I love being in the elements and traveling, and I love bringing my clients in the elements and having transformation.
Mhm.
And so, like next year, I'm only going to do retreats. It's only going to be either personalized for a weekend or, like with groups for a full
Mhm.
week. And that's it. That's my whole, because like, why do anything else, to your point?
Yeah. You love traveling. You
Yeah.
love being with people who are uh, in a journey to transform. You love to serve and guide them.
Yeah.
So why do something else?
I'm not.
Here you go.
What about you? What are you doing next year?
Oh, well, it's so interesting that because everything I do gives me so much joy, I work pretty much 7 days a week because
Mm,
I love it.
yeah.
Because I love it.
And it's not work.
And
Just
it's
to be
not
clear.
work. It's not work. It's not work. Like, I don't see it as a work. I see everything I do as a opportunity to suck the light out of life. See? So in 2023, I want to make like more room to be parts of retreats like that. And I love traveling myself too. And being a part of retreats, being retreat team member,
Mhm.
and also continue writing, speaking,
Mhm.
speaking and guiding as many people as possible. I love one-on-one coaching, and I have amazing clients. Like, I'm very fortunate to attract amazing clients that are a perfect match for me. So I love to work with them, but I keep that number low so that I can spend time on creating meditations, leading meditation sessions, and doing workshops and other stuff that I can connect and reach and serve more people at once. So it seems like I will continue what I have been doing this year for the next year,
Yeah.
maybe with a little bit more intention. But I'm happy. I'm I'm so happy, and what gives me happiness will continue being in my life.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I love your vision for next year, you know. And I want to say about your meditations, you know, it's something that automatically is changing, like raising the collective consciousness, raising the vibration of the planet. And it's I'm going to say it's growing. It's allowing people to see their own growth, light, and health, you know, within. So, how many are you up to now? In your insight timer, it's like every time I see it, it's like, okay, that's more.
Yeah, I have on Inside Timer, I have now 60 meditations,
Okay.
but in total, I think I created 110 or 12 meditations so far
Wow.
since I started writing and recording meditations. They are all recorded, and yeah, I have, and I do like sometimes I create personalized meditations too.
Okay.
So that's amazing too. I mean, people come, I want this kind of meditation and this long and with this kind of music, and so it's
Wow.
yeah.
So, how did you start that? Was it just a personal practice at first, and then?
Yes, yeah, I it was in 2017 I started to meditate really every day,
Mhm.
and then I realized that I need to get some training on this, and I received training and then started to create my meditations as soon as I joined Inside Timer. Actually, it was because to be able to join Inside Timer, I was supposed to create a certain number of meditations, and
Mm.
I didn't know how. I didn't know how to record them, what to use, what, like, it was a learning curve.
Yeah.
But because I was so willing, so excited about it, I I
Figured it out.
figured it out. I
Yeah.
figured it out like in 1 week or so.
Wow.
And right away I created, because in 2021 my New Year resolution was touching 10,000 people with meditation, through meditation. I didn't know how. And until the month of May, April, I didn't have any indication of how I'm going to do that. And all of a sudden I found out about Inside Timer.
Right.
And after I joined in May that year, I created so many meditations, and so many people were using them, listening to them, that by the end of the year, not 10,000, my numbers were at 50,000.
Wow.
So
See, now that's evidence for abundance, right? Like just that, and you like this encapsulates pretty much everything we've been talking about, right? Like your work is your hobby, you're living your joy,
Yeah.
and you're like just creating abundance, right?
Yes.
Or you're pulling in the abundance, right?
Yes.
That there is. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a great proof that when you have the good intentions, and you just know that I will do this year. I don't know how. You don't need to know how.
Yeah. The how never, it will show up.
It shows up on your path.
Yeah.
And it happens so effortlessly that at the end you turn back and, wow, how did this happen? See? But it does.
Yeah. So as we like review like your journey with this, what is it that keeps you in alignment? What am I asking? You know, so like you keep talking about creating your joy and living your joy, but I mean, like if you ever fall sideways or something, like what could you share with others to stay on the course with their hobby, right?
Yes. Look, I am a human being.
Yes.
Of course. I mean, I'm not light and shine and happy and joy 24/7. Like there are days and times that I feel less than.
Okay.
And that when that happens, though, because I'm aware that this is life, life will never be unicorns and rainbows. There will be ups and downs, and it's a roller coaster. And it's only normal that we get some lower days.
Yeah.
But knowing that it's just temporary, it will pass. This is how I feel right now at this moment. But an hour later or tomorrow, I will feel better, and I will continue to shine my light, because my intention overall is to shine my light. So there will be sometimes like energy goes a little bit lower.
Yeah.
The light doesn't shine all the way, but a little bit less. But it's okay. I'm a human, and I give myself the permission
Yeah.
to be a human, to sometimes feel that way. But knowing that it will pass makes it so much easier to go through.
Yeah. What I'm hearing you say is kind of something that has dropped in for me recently also, is that once you're in a place of awareness, right?
Mm.
And you know what frequency you love to be in, when the lower vibration moments come, know that in 12 hours or less, whatever's breaking your heart in this moment will go away.
Yes, we'll feel better. And
Yeah.
knowing that makes all the difference,
Yeah.
because you know that when your energy and vibrations are high, it's lovely. And the more you keep that there, even if you go down a little bit, going back to that energy takes less and less time.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's why because I was noticing consistently, it's like, and in 12 hours or less, it's like back to
Yes.
normal. Yeah.
Yes. And knowing that you can do that, you have the power to change things, to switch your perspective, is so liberating.
Just knowing that what's happening is for you. And maybe you know the Rumi quote. I've been trying to pull it up. I'm like, yeah, records are empty. But it's like the you break so that the light comes through. Do you know what I'm talking about? That
Mm.
so it's it's almost like a falling apart.
Yes, the cracks, the
Right.
cracks that you go through are good because they let the light in.
Yes.
Yes.
Between the two of us, we got the words that go in
Well,
that
it's
quote, but we didn't get it.
paraphrasing it.
Yeah.
But that's the truth.
Yeah.
And more I see everything that looks like an obstacle, a challenge, an adversity, as, oh, what is the gift in this?
Hmm. Yeah.
This happened so that I get something from it. And what is that? Let me look at it a little bit closer.
Yeah.
And when you do that, when you start to see the positives in negatives, well, you start to move from being down to a better place right away,
Yeah.
automatically.
Yeah. At first, it feels weird though not to feel bad, because it's like, what's happening? why, why am I not like just miserable? And yeah, but then you realize you're free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're free of misery.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a choice, always a choice.
Yeah. To allow yourself not to struggle. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Cordelia, I wanted to say this to you.
Mm,
Your presence and your voice is so calming.
thank you.
Like, every time I'm with you, I feel that calmness and peace. Like, you let the people who come together with you to slow down and to just be, and it's so comfortable. I love that.
Thank you for sharing that with me.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I love being in your presence too. We've been hanging out a lot since October.
Yes, it has been an amazing time to share with you, to get to know you better, and how amazing a person you are. I mean, I knew that already, but but yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes you meet people online and they're not the same person in person, but we actually shared a room for a weekend.
Yes.
So I can't fake that.
Yeah, it was so so amazing, and so much love. Like, I feel so much love for you, Cordelia. So much respect too.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I really feel like you're, like I told you, I said, I feel like you're really my sister,
Yeah.
and that's is not common at all. So, yeah.
And we will be together more.
Yeah, definitely we will be
Mm.
collaborating a lot in 2023,
Mhm.
especially since we have an alignment around retreats.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yeah.
thank you so much for being here today on the Free to Be show and sharing your wisdom and your story with us, and offering through your beingness a way for people to do the inner inquiry and be free.
Mm. Thank you. Thank you for having me. And it's always a pleasure.
All right. Well, that's all for today. And I loved our conversation so much. Sometimes I have commercial break. I was like, I'm not going to do that today. We're just going to talk.
Oh,
We're just going to be in this inquiry. And I love that. So thank you so much. For those of you who listened or watched live today, um, if this affected your being and your heart, share this with another soul. And until next week, be free.
So, are you free? Do you own your part in that? Rather than lingering in shame, guilt, and despair, let's see where you can create more freedom, more joy, and replenish from within. Visit me at CordeliaGaffar.com and sign up for the 5 ways to only create joy. Until next week, be free.